Have y'all ever thought about what made James Cameron's Avatar from 2009 so successful?
Let me change.
And yeah, I know what the special effects did. It was a huge success because there was nothing seen at the time. But what about the plot? What about its unoriginal plot? How this could be a white savior film? The cartoonish characters and almost a full-out CGI sex scene? Bro, we gotta talk about those themes right now. What is going on, y'all? My name is Infinite, and today we're gonna talk about James Cameron's Avatar. Since we are days away from The Way of Water, we gotta go back and revisit this. If you haven't seen Avatar, then yeah, you will get spoiled, so either go watch and then come back. Unless you don't care, then stick around. Alright, so we know the plot. We have this crippled Marine. His name is Jake Sully, who has a twin brother but ends up passing away. So now they want Jake to do his mission, which is to go to this moon named Pandora. Yeah, nice creativity there with the name. To help this corporation find this mineral that can only be found in Pandora, which is essential to the survival of the human race because, yeah, we suck at taking care of our planet. But they need Jake's help because since that's his brother's twin, they have the same genetic makeup, so they're the only ones that can control the Avatar, which is a mix of their own DNA and the DNA of the Na'vi people. Where have I seen that before? I feel like John Hammond was one of the investors and he was like, hey, I did this before, let me help y'all out. Welcome to Pandora Park. Oh, well, that didn't go so well last time, did it? Now, this movie is compared a lot to Dances with Wolves. Now, even if you haven't seen Dances with Wolves or some of the other films that this movie is compared to, but Dances with Wolves is like the main one, you could easily predict what's going to happen. I mean, it's laid out like right in front of your face for you as the movie starts developing, as it starts flowing. Now, the fact that Jake Sully has a mission to learn more about the Na'vi, he ends up meeting Neytiri, I think that's her name, then you know it's gonna have this very familiar formula, much like the romantic comedies movies do. When you really think about it, their interactions doesn't really feel like a romance is developing. I feel like the only time where I see them together is when they're having like these training sessions and this whole training montage that is their romance building supposedly. So it does feel like it's just a forced romance just for the sake of the plot. And it just leads up to them having sex in front of a tree. And speaking of Jake Sully, all the criticisms made brought up this question that pondered, okay, was he even a necessary character for the story? Like, why did we need Jake Sully? Was he just an excuse to have a white savior? Or is he actually the point of view from the audience? Because it really makes you think, what if the main character was actually someone from the Na'vi people and not some white guy? If the main lead was a Na'vi, that character could have been probably discovering the humans' plans to colonize Pandora. They could have been discovering their evil plan to want to destroy the tree or something like that. I mean, that's just the way I would have done it. But, you know, I think they went this way because for the sake of the romance, we needed to have that Pocahontas moment. But let me know what y'all think. Do you think Jake Sully was a necessary character? And here's where we go to what a lot of people also call this film being racist.
What?
And the reason is because a white man ends up being the leader of an indigenous group. Indigenous people are always depicted as like less prominent. In other words, pretty much saying, yeah, you guys are dumb. You need a smart person. You need a smart, normal person. And when you look at the Na'vi people, you could see where people are coming from, how they automatically came to the conclusion that they were trying to depict Native Americans, but they just made them blue. I'm not saying that was James Cameron's intention, but whether it was or wasn't, yeah, I don't think he thought that one through. But from one side, you could see it as like, man, this film is trying to say that indigenous people can't save themselves, especially when they're in the face of danger, they're put against the wall. So we need that white boy to come and save them, right? Now in the movie, they end up going to war. And when you really think about it, the Na'vi had a lot of people. There were a lot of different tribes, but they're essentially one group of people. And Jake didn't really do anything to give him the upper hand. All he did was say, hey, we need to come together and destroy the humans because they're trying to destroy y'all. And that's all that happened. Other than the fact that he connected with the dragon that I guess nobody could ride, but he ended up riding it. So because we needed to have this also very Messiah moment happen where he comes down and everyone's like, oh, he rode that dragon, so he must be our savior. He must be the one to lead us. But on the other hand, you could have the point of view where you're thinking, well, you know what? He was a good man. He was just trying to do things out of his own kindness. He was really willing to learn the Na'vi people, and he learned how crappy being a human is. And okay, sure, we'll take in the factor of romance, but you know, it just, also the fact that he's crippled and being controlling this avatar is the only way where he's able to have his full movement again. He just got so focused on being in this new world, and he was like, oh shoot, this is way better than living back home. So he was also stuck between a rock and a hard place. He was like, wheelchair, living with humans, freedom. I got my girl who shows her nipple more than half of the movie. Oh yeah, I'm gone. So what is your point of view? Does this movie show that it's racist? Now, before we get into the last topic, we are on the verge of the holiday. So if you are an Avatar fan, or if you know someone that's an Avatar fan, then you need to get some merch. One of the easiest ways to do that is through Amazon. So check out the latest Avatar merch on Amazon on the links in the description. Now let's get back to the video. One theme that I will say I think is trying to show, or at least to me, I'm not sure if that's what the movie had intentions to do so, but we humans suck at surviving. Everything that's wrong with this planet, we are responsible for it. We are responsible for our own demise. I think it shows how much humanity is willing to go when it comes to their survival. They're willing to just destroy another group of people, in this case the aliens, the Na'vi people. And it's very easy to do that when you're on the side of the verge of extinction. So you have to do whatever it takes to survive. And that means colonizing another people, another planet, another moon, or whatever. That's something that I saw when watching this corporation just trying to find this mineral, and they don't really care about who's on this moon. They don't really care who's in this planet. They went as far as destroying this sacred tree just because it's gonna ensure human survival. Yeah, it really shows the ugly side of us. It's like the Joker said in Dark Knight when he was like, when the chips are down, all these civilized people, they'll eat each other. Straight facts right there, my man. I just quoted a psychopath. Hey, but it works. All right, so there's no denying that the special effects were spot on, but I think it really overshadowed a lot of themes that could have been the movie's intention. I don't know. I'm just speaking of how there's different points of views on this film and that they shouldn't be overlooked just because of the special effects. All right, but now I want to know from you, how do you look at James Cameron's Avatar from 2009? What type of themes did you notice, if you noticed them at all, or were you just there? Did you like it because of the special effects? So now the last question to ponder is, will Avatar: The Way of Water, is it gonna hit, or will it be a flop at the box office? I go ahead and talk about 5 major reasons of how it could flop. If you want to know more about that, you can click on this video right here if you're watching this in a few days in the future, as well as my spoiler-free review. Make sure you subscribe and turn that bell notification on so you won't miss out, and make sure you smash the like button on this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep watching this channel, and definitely keep watching movies.